Hello. I thought you were going to say something. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, good morning. God bless. Can't think of any other ways of saying hello. Welcome to episode 21 of this beautiful podcast of the Robbos Gobcast podcast, episode 20. So today is going to be a little bit not different, but this is what we're going to be normally be doing if we haven't got a guest on a Friday, and there's a match coming up on the weekend. So today is we're just going to go through Ryan's thoughts on the Derby game and both of our thoughts on the Luton game. Then we're going to go through some of the transfer targets that's been speculated, and we just have a little chat about them, just have a little conversation. This is going to be a very relaxed podcast today. We're just going to be chilling. We'll talk a bit about the Barnsley game coming up this weekend. And then we're going to go through the results of the game that we played for the lineup game and the guess the score. So we will be going through the results. I'm not looking at you on that. And then we will just go and just have a little chin wag about anything else, really. Just have a little bit of a chat. So yeah, let's get started. Let's get into this. Let's get going, shall we? Right. So, Derby was on there. Everyone heard a bit of my thoughts with the podcast last week. If you haven't seen it on the Tuesday podcast with Mr. Courtney Friday, please go and check that out now. I'm going to pause so that when you come back to this video, it'll be good. So, right, checked it out. Thank you. Right, welcome back. We are now going to be talking about Ryan's thoughts on it. Ryan, what was your thoughts on the Derby game?
So I joined your Instagram live after the game and kind of said everything there.
Go follow for updates of when we actually go live. Go on.
But it was almost perfect. I listened to what both you and Courtney said earlier today. I listened to your pod where you both spoke about it. I agree with what Courtney said, and you probably said as well, where we just need to be a bit more relentless. It was 2-0, but there was definitely opportunities there where it could have ended up being 6 or 7. As Courtney pointed out as well, Zhao hitting the bar, Swift having 2 clear-cut opportunities. There'll be games in the season where opportunities like that will cost us. But take our chances more and put teams to the sword. And other than that, it's pretty much perfect.
Okay.
For the first time in quite a long time, I can't pick someone who didn't really play well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought everyone had a very good game.
So who was I didn't do this on the podcast on Monday because I'm thinking of it on the fly while we do this. Is if you had to pick someone that stood out the most for you, someone that you surprisingly shocked of how good they played, and someone you thought played okay. Yeah, that.
Zhao, Swift.
You can't say Zhao twice.
But
you can't say Zhao twice. Pick someone else. That's greedy.
I agree with what Courtney said, where people were overhyping him on the Colchester game. To quote what Courtney said, a good championship striker would go and score a hat-trick against Colchester. And I think there was a bit of hype around him that obviously he's a good player, but we were milking it a little bit.
But isn't that the Reading thing?
But it was good to see against Derby. You could see Zhao absolutely loved it. There was that down on the sort of left wing position where he took on three Derby players, turned back round, took all 3 of them on again, got fouled, and he's just sat on the floor and started laughing at them. And it's just stuff like that you love to see.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So who was the one who shocked you? You can't use Joe again. Pick someone else.
None of them really.
Really?
No.
Not more Richards?
No. Because I always thought Richards is a good player. And like you said, I do agree he offers more going forwards than getting back. I agree with what you said. Ajaria, you could see tired after sort of 70 odd minutes.
He got cramped, didn't he?
Yeah. But I know these players there are capable. If anything, then I'm going to have to go with Moore because he didn't finish the season very well, but he started this season well.
I thought he played really well.
I'm not shocked by that at all because he's capable of it.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Holmes looked good when he come on, even in a position that isn't his first choice position.
It is though. According to Adam, and I'm quoting from Adam from Tyler Stead, who's been on this podcast. Please go check it out if you haven't. He's a good lad. Is his actual favourite position when he was brought up was CDM, but he plays centre back to fill in certain roles, according to him.
Yeah, but his favourite position growing up is completely different.
No, his position he played was CDM, but for the Reading youngsters, he slotted into the centre back role.
I'm just saying, Adam Federici, before he played in goal, was a striker for like 3 years.
Yeah, but Adam Federici was shit.
You're wrong.
I'm not. I will 100% stand by that. He was overhyped by our fans, by far.
I don't think he was overhyped. He was a solid keeper.
He was never solid. There was always a mistake in him. Always.
Liam Moore was a striker. He was younger.
Yeah, but I'm only going by what Adam said. Yeah. And Adam said his position that he's comfortable with, his position that he plays Velewera, and what he's done before is the CDM role. That's why I don't think we're signing a CDM because of Holmes. My opinion. That's what I'm gathering around the situation.
Yeah, well, he looked good when he come on.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
Very good.
Yeah, it was also good to see Yedon come back.
Good. It was his first game since the Barnsley game, if I was right, before lockdown.
No idea.
I think it was the Barnsley game before lockdown.
Not a clue.
Could be. Can't remember. But that's what we saw as well. So, yeah, so I think a very solid performance. I think it was a very, very controlled game in how we did it. What was your thoughts on the...
and I'll go back to the other question you asked, who you thought was a bit average. Swift, but I'm not really surprised because I said all along he's been a good player in a fairly shit team, and you get players up to that standard and he won't stand out. And I think that kind of proved it the other day.
Good. I agree with that statement. So let's talk about the Luton game that sent fans into meltdown all over social media.
We're not.
So what was your thoughts on the game? What was your thoughts on it?
You know what? Quite honestly, I know it's stupid to say, Probably. But I genuinely couldn't care less.
Oh, I can't. I couldn't either.
Yeah, obviously, I wouldn't have minded a cup run and get further in the competition, get some prize money, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. We'd probably got knocked out in the next round by Man United anyway.
Yep.
So yeah, losing isn't a bad thing. At least now you have teams that are going to be in the similar kind of position as us in the league this season. For example, Bristol City have gone through. They'll feel the effects of an extra game. Whereas that extra game, we can now rest our players. We don't have the biggest squad in the world. Obviously, it'd been nice to be able to give young players more of a chance coming through, but they'll still get that chance in the league. We still played absolutely dreadful, but it's a cup. My opinion was Paunovic, the way he set up, it was almost like he had an eye on the next round, like, oh, well, we got Man United. Man United would have been an attractive game, but there's going to be no fans there. There's going to be no benefits for the club, and we'll probably get beat. So what's the point? So set up uninspiring game, like a team to like could have done something, but we made 11 changes. Luton had quite a couple of their first team players out.
Jesus, Rangers are winning 2-0. Carry on. Sorry.
I kind of think he wasn't really interested in going through to the next round, which I'm quite perfectly happy with.
So
I saw something you just said about Rangers as well. Something that I found quite interesting. They haven't conceded yet this season.
No, they haven't.
But the last time they conceded a goal in all competitions, if you take out the 2 Leverkusen games, was like the 17th of March.
Jesus.
Against Ross County. They've conceded 17 goals in all competitions this year.
That's mental.
Including friendlies as well.
Well, at least Gerrard knows how to defend. Fair enough. Yeah. Good on them. I hope they go and win the league, to be honest.
So do I.
I like Rangers. So I'm going to go on a rant in a minute, but I'm going to be very careful with my rant in a minute.
Another one.
We should have a section for this, like Mark's rant. We'll come up with a theme tune for it, where I have a rant every episode.
Call it an advert break.
Call it a piss break. I would. So I want to get your thoughts on this. I want to get your thoughts before I say my thoughts. So I saw a post. You know, we do the Instagram live after. We're going to try and do it We're going to do it after every game, not cup games, unless it's the FA Cup. Don't want to go live on a Mickey Mouse Cup. We want to go live on a proper cup. I'm trying to be careful how I word this because I know people might get, fuck it, I don't care. Why am I caring if I offend people? It's just me. So I saw this thing after the game from another podcaster. Just think about it. A Reading podcaster. And he did he does a Periscope, like Elm Park Rules, did a Periscope live after the game. And one of the questions he put in there pissed me off to a point where I called him out and he tried to defend the situation, which people suck his ass that listen to him anyway. So the thing that he come out after the game and said, that would have been a better game, or I'm not exactly paraphrasing, I'm just sawing what he posted. He put on the game afterwards, if Gunter and McCleary and the others were still here for that game against Luton, we would have won that game. Do you think they deserve another chance? That's what he put. I'm gonna get the tweet up because it's gonna annoy me. Because I had a.
Do you want my opinion on that?
Wait. I want you to wait a second. I want to get your opinion on exactly what he put because I don't want to misread so that it comes against me or anything like that. I want to put exactly what is said because I don't want to get it wrong. So he put on Periscope Live. I asked this question: would you have lined? Presume he put liked, but because his English is not very good. Would you have liked to have any of the Gunter, McCleary, or a Beta available tonight? I would gauge your opinions on topic with our thin squad. Thoughts on this? So I asked him about it. What would you have? Would you have them? He went, absolutely. Your opinion before I go on my rant.
Not at all. They've left the club for a reason. Obviously, McCleary hasn't been half the player he has
attitude
for 4 years.
Wanker. Sorry,
McCleary hasn't had the attitude, had the ability that he's had for the last 4 years.
Or attitude. You were right the first time.
Then Gunter, I make my opinions clear. I wouldn't mind having him at the club still. But they're not here. What's the point in, like, I don't know what the word is.
Point.
No, what's the point in sort of wishing something was here when it's not?
See,
like, the thing is, like, you look at, like, Charlie Adams left. People wanted him to get a new contract. He's just signed for Dundee. Gabe Osho, people saying we should go back in for him. Well, no, we shouldn't. There's a reason he's left. He rejected the contract. He had the opportunity to stay. He didn't want to. So move on. It's kind of like it's like with McDermott. Done a good job first time, come back, didn't do as good of a job. If you keep returning to the club, people's opinion on you is going to go down. Especially like look at the situation with like you and McCleary. If he'd have left 4 years ago when he got injured, you wouldn't think the same about him than you do now.
Oh, I agree with you.
So why go in for a player just for the sake of it as well?
The thing that annoys me the most, and the thing that I'm now going to go, I'm not going to go on a rant too much because people know how I feel and everything about that as well. Is the thing that annoys me the most is why are we living in the past? Why are we? Why do fans and certain generation of fans? I'm saying generation because I'm not in that generation, but I know Elm Park Royals is definitely an older generation because he was at Elm Park, obviously, before in that sort of wonderful stadium. Couldn't give a crap about it, to be honest. Stadium. The thing that annoys me the most is people thinking that the past is a solution for the future, and that's the thing that I don't get. What I don't understand with certain fans and certain individuals. What I don't understand is why are we thinking about this person could have done this if they were still at the club. This person could have done that. We will never know unless they come and sign for us and did it. Then we could know. Why are we hypothetically thinking it's going to happen? It's like hypothetically thinking Gareth McCleary has a good attitude. That is just absolute bollocks. It's like saying Chris Gunter got over a 6 each week. It just never happened. It's like with a beta, he has the class. He hasn't got the pace anymore. That was clear. He's got the ability of the cross, but unfortunately for him, he didn't really do that. He did well when he was with us, and I will always respect McCleary 100% to the end of time because he should have been a one-club man just for the sake of it. I think for him, because I absolutely loved him when he was here and everything. The same with Otto.
Can we please clip that because you said McCleary then?
You said a beta?
No, you said McCleary.
No, I definitely said a beta. I made sure I said a beta.
You definitely said McCleary.
Well,
go back and listen to it.
I don't ever listen to it again. I never listen to this again. I just do a clip. But anyway, with a beta, McCleary could just go fuck off. As well. But I just don't understand why people try and live in the past. I don't get it because it's not helping the situation. It's like what I said to him as well. What do you want to do? You want to stump the growth of players that deserve to get an opportunity. So you're telling me you would have Gunter in the squad get maybe a 6, but Aruna, who I think is a quality backup right back. I think you can't. His crossing is brilliant.
The
his
thing
crossing
is, well,
phenomenal.
Aruna, I'm just going to say he's versatile.
Exactly. He could play centre mid. He could play right back. He could play wherever he wants.
I reckon give him a chance. I think he's going to be that kind of player where you could say to him, "Oh, we need someone to go and play."
James Milner.
Yeah.
He's the James Milner
if someone asked him to, I think he'd go and goal for a couple of weeks.
No, give it a go.
I think he just wants to play.
And I think that's one of the things as well. What we're also going to keep McCleary around so we don't stop any of the youngsters coming in to come and play. That may also mean that
I'm going to go back to what you said there.
Hold on, I haven't finished yet. Or Bulldog not getting an opportunity. Keep also around. That won't give Tom Holmes or McIntyre an opportunity. It's also not if we kept a beater. That's not making Richards not have more, or the Ethan Bristow that played very well an opportunity, or the Samuels an opportunity. So we're just thinking about the past. We're not thinking about these kids. Yes, it was against Luton. Yes, it was one game, and some people think he won't give that. Give the opportunity to play at Madacey Stadium in an important game in the Carabao Cup, in the Mickey Mouse Cup, then even if whatever cup it is or anything, to put that blue and white shirt on and to have an opportunity to play for the first team, that's the experience on its own.
I'm just saying as well, you see from the younger players that did play how much it means to them. Look at what's his name? Saki. What he put on Twitter after the game.
Mm.
Look at Dejan Tetek. What he put on Twitter after.
He hasn't done any. He's done himself a lot of favors.
Yeah.
For
And
performance.
you see how much it means to them. For me as well, I would rather, especially this season, in that situation, I would rather us go and put a second string team out against Luton in a cup where a game where it's like, yeah, who cares? Give them that first team experience.
So I just want to give you some stats here, okay? I'm going to give you 2 bits of stats. So since arriving at the club, the new manager, Valko Pananovic, has handed out 6 debuts to academy players in just 3 games. Yap Stam did 8 in his time that he was here. Marshall did 2, Gomez did 4, and Bowen did 4. Clement did none. And that just sort of really proves to what it is.
I've got something I want to say
Go
about
on,
what
go. You go.
I can't remember who said it. It was either you or Courtney, obviously. But I think it was Courtney saying about he doesn't have a direct system.
No, what we were discussing is I know what you're about to say as well. Please don't say it just yet, because it's one of the topics I want to talk about Barnsley with. Okay. I know exactly what you're going to talk about as well. But no, and there is. I think we discussed that on the pod, and we discussed as well that there is an actual system to it. But go on.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, obviously, it's a good thing because he's experienced with Serbia's youth setup. He likes giving youth a chance, and we've seen that in let's say in 180 minutes of football.
Mm-hmm. In 3 games, he's handed 6 debuts to youngsters.
Yeah.
The debuts for the 6 youngsters, I've got them here, is Southwood, Bristow, Nathan Melvin Lambert, Derek Techi, Linford Saki, and Lisp just arrived. Nelson Abbey as well were the ones that have come in.
Yeah. So he trusts youth, and that's what we need. They're not going to get any better by sitting on the bench or not playing.
Mm-hmm. No, well, I completely agree.
The other thing that I'm going to say, I'm not going to say it yet because you want to talk about it. You know
Are you talking about the stat?
No. About his
Right, Ryan, you explain what you're going to talk about because it's not the thing I was about to say. Go.
Okay, so Courtney said there's no clear system in place, or he won't go in. He says in the press that he hasn't.
We talked about.
He'll go to the changing room. He won't say, "Look, I just want you to do exactly what I say every week."
Yeah.
But what I think he might do is kind of what Bielsa does. So I was reading 442 magazine a while ago, and they done a interview with Kamar Roof, and they spoke about his time at Leeds. Anyway, what he said was Bielsa has, in training, they train on 3 or 4 different tactics. So they can set up a system, play in the game for 5 minutes, let the other team counter that system, and then in a click of a finger, they can change to an alternate system and just change the game like that. I think that is something that Ponovic is going to do very well. You've seen from Chicago Fire fans and also at his time with Serbia under-20s, etc. He's a tournament manager. He likes to play different styles. He'll look at the opposition, analyse it, and play and set up the team the best way to counter their likely setup. And the fact that he's going to have multiple different systems and do what Bielsa does in the sense of, right, we've had 5 minutes of the game now, we're controlling it, but we're not putting any more pressure on. Let's change it up. Let's go and get that goal. I think it's only going to be a good thing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think that's probably the main positive thing about the game. And it's like I said, I think the main thing that I think we need to sort of remember...
You've gone really quiet.
Have I?
Yeah.
Right, sorted the technical difficulties out. We're back. As I was saying, I think it was interesting to see how it goes. and how we get on from here. So Luton, I couldn't care about, really, to be honest. It wasn't a great game. The lineup proved itself. I think it's time for McNulty, Baldock, maybe to go. I think as well. It sort of shows how unprofessional our professional players were as well. I think not unprofessional. I don't think that will come out as
I'm
horrible.
going to have a little rant as well about.
One minute. Let me get this out. And then you can have a rant because I like people having rants. It makes me feel good. So the thing that I said was, and then what I feel is you can see by and people are going to moan about that they weren't playing in their right positions, but they had the opportunity out there on Tuesday and the cup game before as well to go out there and give themselves a name, go and prove something, go and show something, and I don't think they did. Right, you go for your rant.
Right, so this is something that I said in the Instagram live as well. People saying about the sub he made, where he opted to bring on Baldock rather than Puskas. That was the kind of game against Derby. Baldock was the perfect player to come on there because he would have chased everything. He's got that burst of energy, and puts pressure on the defence to try and force him into mistakes. We saw it a couple of times. Also, Puskas being on international duty, and he missed the second game, I think, because he picked up a slight injury. So why people?
No, there was a they didn't miss it because of an injury. He was on the bench. There's a conversation between the Romanian FA and Valko Pananovic about how to deal with the situation that was wrong with Puskas. There was minutes that they could with international duty, you can set minutes for the players to play, but they said, right, we don't want him to play more than an hour, but they don't want him to play more than 30 minutes, 40 minutes, so then they left it up to the Romanian FA, which they didn't play him.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah, so, so that's why, I think people were trying to read too much in, he doesn't like Puskas, who's going to play Baldock more. I don't think that's the case at all.
No, I think.
And also, he did come out and say about McIntyre missing it because obviously didn't see much of him before, and he also was away with Scotland under 21s.
Yeah, I agree with his decision so far. I think he's been correct. I think he's done exceptionally well so far. I think people slating him for the team that he picked, I think just utter nonsense and utter wrong. But right, and then so there's that. So let's go on to transfer targets before we go on to the Barnsley game or anything like that. And I want to get your opinion on each of them,
Okay.
and I want to get your opinion on what you think. So the first one is Ricardo Riquelme. Basically, I've got some stats up about him, and we've talked about a little bit about him before. Not too much, but I want to get your take on him. He is a 20-year-old. He's played 22 times for the Serie A, Atletico Madrid B, scored 5 times. He's played 1 game in the senior team, according to this, and he hasn't scored. But the youth career, he's been with Zaragoza, Rayo Vallecano, and he was started at Atletico Madrid in 2010. His sources are saying, I say sources, I sound like Sky Sports, but Twitter has been saying by a few people that he is now at the team hotel, not the stadium hotel, where he met with Velko Pananovic on Wednesday morning. Basically, I think going through options about what he should do. The only way he can arrive at the club is if he signs a new deal at Atletico Madrid this season. There is also talk that
has happened now, apparently.
But there's been no official statement to say he has signed it. But as you've probably listened to the podcast you heard, there might be an option in there that he might sign a 2-year contract that Reading put in there. All right, you have a 2 years. We want him on loan for a year, maybe an option to buy for a certain amount of money. Do you think,
if I'm right in saying his contract is up next summer as it stands?
It is as it stands. He's up next summer.
They want to extend it solely for the purpose that they can sell him to us for a fee next summer, rather than
they want to stop, but they also really want to keep him. That's one of the things that they want to do. If they can't keep him and can't do what they want, they also want to make money out of the situation and not lose one of their brightest stars. I think, as I've seen a lot of Atletico Madrid fans say, on a free. So smart bit of business, I think, there from Reading and from Atletico Madrid. What is your thoughts on the player, and what do you think?
Um, I've not seen anything of him before. I won't lie.
He's very, very quick. He's very
Yeah,
direct in his play. And I've seen, so basically the impression I've got from what I've seen over Twitter and what I've seen in videos and stuff. Basically, he's a very direct, quick player. He likes to run at players and likes to beat them and likes to get a ball in. He's also not afraid of having a shot. So he's very much the type of player that Valko Penanovic had at Serbia. When he was a Serbian youth manager, the type of wingers that he had there as well. Basically the same sort of bread as winger. And he's only 20.
Well, I've seen obviously the Atletico fans do rate him. He's also quite highly regarded in the Spain youth system, I've heard as well.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if it's a loan with the option to buy, it's only going to be a good bit of business anyway.
Exactly.
Like, at the end of the day, we don't have wingers. We need wingers or options there. It's the kind of player that come in. He fits the what we want. Young, hungry players that have potential.
Mm-hmm.
He's the kind of player that Ponovic will like using. So, and if it is loan with option to buy, if it doesn't work out, we're not in any worse of a position. It's quite a risk-free transfer on both parts.
It's one of those transfers that if we brought in like Ujara, if we brought in for like 3 to 5 million euros, I'm saying euros because it's going to a European team. It'd be
it won't be that though.
If it's 8, 9, 10 million euros, whatever, it's around that. Then if he does perform well, especially with Spanish wingers as well, we know that they go for millions as well. So
it could be another case of he has a good season, we activate the option to buy, and like Ajara, we sign him for 3 million. We could probably sell him now for double that
easily.
I could see the same kind of situation happening with him.
Yeah.
Obviously, not wanting to sell him, but
so
it's a risk-free.
Yeah. So another player that has been talked about, and apparently we have put a loan in. I'm going to go with another one first, just because I'm going to tease it. So it was talked about a few weeks ago. Alfredo Semedo Estevez, who was on loan at Nottingham Forest last season, playing 24 times. So his career has gone. Jesus, why do Portuguese team have such a weird long phrase of a name? So his youth was that he went through the Benfica youth he was at Fritas de Babuas, and then he went to Benfica in 2014. He moved there and he was there in the youth system to 2016. He went out on loan at Villa Franquestis, on loan where he played 29 times, got 4 goals. He then in 2019-18 went to Monreis, where he got 28 appearances and 2 goals. He then played in the Benfica first team in 2018 for half the season, playing 5 times. And then he went out on loan to Espanyol. Thank God for that easy name, Jesus. Where he played 3 times in the end of the 2019 season. And then last season, he went to Nottingham Forest and played 24 times for them as well. So he is a Gennari Babasu, 6'2", holding midfielder, 23 years old. We're not going to go on the other transfer target that we're going to build up to in a minute as well. We're just going through the ones that chronologically, I think, are going through. So when you first heard about him, what did you think?
I can't be honest, again, didn't know anything about him.
So there was a lot of opinions from Nottingham Forest fans.
Yeah, I don't listen to a word of what they say.
No, because they have a very good sense of football knowledge.
Because Pele was awful, wasn't he?
Yeah, apparently he was terrible. So
they also signed Lyle Taylor. I don't rate that.
They also signed Tyler Blackett, so I don't rate that either. So for me, I think this could be a very sensible signing. This will only happen if the next player I say doesn't arrive. So this could only happen if the next player doesn't arrive. So this is a very good backup option, I think, for a CDM, for a defensive midfielder option, like we would have with Tom Holmes, who might be able to switch between the both, can play CDM, can play centre back. Be a good option to have them both available for that as well. For me, I think he's a quality player. I think he's a very good player. You don't go through the Benfica youth and the Benfica playing for Benfica as well without having anything about you. And maybe there might be a play style that he might be needed to be used to get the best out of him. So yeah, good. Would be happy with that if he come aboard, if the next one doesn't join. So
yes, people listening can't hear me nod.
Can't hear you nod. Right. So the next one that has been talked around, that Reading have made an offer, but the team are playing hardball, goes by the name of Giselton Manandu Teixeira Gomez, aka Pele. Pele. Pele is, let's go through his history. He was a youth player at Belenenses, and then he moved to Genoa and didn't play any games for them. Moved to AC Milan in 4 years, didn't play any games for them. He then moved to Ukraine on loan with Arsenal Kiev, where he played 5 times. Moved to Olasani, which is another Italian team, on loan. He played 14 times. He went then back to Belenenses, played 29 times. He then moved to Benfica in 2015 and got loaned straight out to Pacos Ferreira, where he played 29 times. He then got loaned in 2019. He only played 1 game for Ferreris. In 2019, 2018, he went to Rio Ave, played 31 times. He then got sold to Monaco in 2018, where he played 8 games, moved to Monaco B, where he played 1 time. He then went on loan to Nottingham Forest in 2019 for half the season, it looks like. Just says 2019 on there. In 2018, Hart played half the season for Monaco B. Then in January, looks like he moved to Nottingham Forest, where he played 9 times. And then he come on loan to the best team in the world, Reading, where he played 28 times, got 1 goal. He's also been capped at Portugal under 18 3 times, Portugal under 19 11 times, Portugal under 20 19 times, Portugal under 21 3 times, and then he somehow then moved to Genoa Babasu. Genoa? I don't know. Genoa? I don't know.
Burkina Faso.
Yeah, I can't say the friggin' name. How'd you say it?
Burkina Faso.
Is that really not how you say it?
Pretty sure it is, yeah.
But, right, so all the viewers listening and looking out there, listening and watching, I'm dyslexic, so I read things exactly how they look. Sometimes I don't say it right. So me that says Genoa Bibasu. To me, anyway, he's got 9 international appearances for them. He was a runner-up in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup, where they lost to Colombia. Isn't that the one? Oh no, 2011. That wasn't the year that Serbia won it. So I don't know whether you've seen it going around or what's going on. Basically, Reading have offered a loan deal to Monaco for. I'm going to do a Tindella. Jadilson Gomez. I'm just not going to say his name. They've offered him a loan deal. Monaco have come back and said no, but you can have him on a permanent deal. Reading are looking into the situation, whether they can afford it or if they want to go for it. They're having to sit down with Pananovic to talk about that. What would you think? Would you be happy to have him back on a permanent deal?
Yeah.
What did you think of him when he was here? Because I've seen a lot of different opinions on him. People saying he was inconsistent. People saying he was very good. People saying that he was rubbish. What's your opinion on him?
I don't think he was rubbish. I would say he was a consistent 7 out of 10. And then
we have another Gunter.
Then he had his days where he was absolutely fantastic.
Do you know what?
He didn't make many mistakes.
No.
He just done what he needed to do.
Yeah, and do you know what annoyed me the most with him was, I think, because inconsistent was the right thing for him. I don't think he had a very good relationship with Bowen, by the sounds of things. I'm going to point something out after this. I'm going to point something out that I find fascinating, but I want to get your opinion on it after I've gone through it all. I think Pele, if he comes back on a permanent deal, if we're clever and do a 2 to 3 year deal, not a 5, because he's 28 now, give him a 2-year deal, see how he gets on. If it doesn't work out after a year, sell him. Do something, but be very. If you're going to buy at least 6 million, I think I saw the 6 million euros. I think Monaco are asking for. If they are going to pay that, it has to be at least a 3-4 year contract, because if it doesn't work out after 2 years, you have another 2 years to get rid of him. So I think Reading will be very, 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 very clever in how they do it. So let's hope that deal goes through. So another one that has come through, there's been 4 or 5 altogether. I want to get your opinion on this one. This one, actually the next 2, I want to get your opinion on, Ryan. This really tickled my fancies. The next 2 really hit. You hear a transfer room and you go, oh yeah, all right. Oh yeah. These 2. So the first one is a 23-year-old Liverpudlian. Well, no, he's not. He's actually from Bolton. Nathaniel Phillips, 23 years old. He's a Bolton. He used to be a Bolton youth player. He was there for up to 2016, and then he moved to Liverpool 2016 to 2018. He hasn't played the senior. He might have played a cup game, but he hasn't played Premier League or anything games for them yet. So senior club appearances and goals counted for domestic league only, and correct. So he might have played in the cup, I think, for him. I think last season, I'm not sure. But he's had 2 loan spells, both at Stuttgart in 2019. He went there for half a season, it looks like. He played 9 times. He then went back to Stuttgart and then played in 2020 for them and got 10 appearances for them. Stuttgart is a massive team. I think they're in the Bundesliga 3.
Bundesliga 2. Second division, aren't they?
Bundesliga 2. Yes, I know German. They're one of the biggest clubs, and I think one of the biggest clubs.
They are truly like sleeping giants.
Yeah, they are one of those that if you get it right with them, and limits endless with them. So yeah, I could do a save with Stuttgart. That could be quite fun. Anyway, so this one really, really, really tickled my fancy. Centre back. Could be backup maybe for McIntyre with McIntyre Holmes. Maybe Holmes will be moving into the role of the CDM where Nathaniel Phillips could be. Will we play a 3 at the back? Then he could come onto the bench, or with McIntyre, or could go on the pitch if Moore and Morrison are injured. I don't know. I tell you what, I really like that side. I really like him. What is your opinions on him? Do you think that would be a good signing for the club?
Yeah, again, same as Raquel. I think it could be very much a risk-free kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Add a bit of experience. I say experience, like a bit of youthful experience. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he's young, but he's played 19 games over 2 years for Stuttgart at like not a bad level. Liverpool obviously been very good to us with Ajaria. They didn't have to hold out and wait for us to get the money and buy it and stick to the original deal as well. Mm-hmm. I think it's just risk-free. I wouldn't mind seeing him come in. Even if he did come in, then that would allow us to stick with like Moore, McIntyre, Morrison, Nathaniel Phillips if he comes in, push Holmes out into his defensive midfield role, or as another option at centre back for like cup and a bit more depth. But then it also allows us to send a couple of younger players out on loan for a year or 2, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, them experience that they wouldn't get.
Exactly. It's good to have a little bit. it's good to have a bit of depth
Yeah.
as well in the team. So I'm looking forward to it. I've just pressed a button that I shouldn't have on my phone. Anyway, so I'm very, 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 very excited to see how it goes and where this all happens and why am I gone? Is that what I want? I don't know. So yeah, so I'm very, very excited to see how that goes and where that goes and what that happens. And then the last one, who this bloke really tickled my fancy as well, Fabio Santos Martins, Portuguese. He's 27. He plays as a winger and a forward. His play career basically is this. He went through the Porto youth, Porto B. He played 29 times in a year for them. And he then moved to Alves, where he played 33 times in a year. Then moved to Braga B, where he was in the Braga B. Jesus, he had a bloody good season there. In the Braga B youth system, where he played 41 times, getting 14 goals. Then he moved to Braga in the 2015 season. He played 39 times for them, got 5 goals. In the end of that season, he moved to Pascos Ferreira on loan. He got 18 goals, 18 appearances. And then he moved to Chivas, where he got 29 appearances, 6 goals. And then last season, he went out on loan to Flamengo, Famalicão, not Flamingo as in the Brazilian, the Portuguese team, where he got 29 appearances and 12 goals. For the national team, he has played for the Portugal youth setup all the way up to the under 21 and hasn't played anywhere else for that. Now, this guy, I've seen clips and I've seen a bit about him and I've listened to what people think of him. And I'll tell you what, on the 25th, so I'll just read a little bit about him and I want to get your opinion on this, right? Martins renewed his contract with Braga in 2020. He renewed his contract with Braga apparently with 2022 with a buyout clause set as in 25 million euros. He contributed to 5 goals from 27 appearances, 10 starts during that season. Qualified for the Europa League and fourth place finish. On June 2019, still owned by Braga, Martin moves to Nudi from into in the upcoming season. So this one's either going to be a loan or it's going to be a permanent deal. We're not 100% sure. I thought it was a permanent deal by what I saw. Could be wrong. Could be a loan. Not buying the 25 million euro thing that what it's saying, but it could be interesting. What are your thoughts on that potential new incomer?
For a winger, his goal contribution is very, very good.
That's what tickled my fancy.
Yeah, like who was I talking about? One of my mates is Palace fan, and we were talking about Saeed Benrahma, who they're linked with, and I was looking at him, and for a winger, his goal, like the amount of goals compared to games he scored, is very good.
Also, there's always a asterisk against him because he's never performed in a big game.
Yeah, but we're not talking about him. We don't.
No, I'm just
really
saying.
care.
I don't know. Palace are getting relegated anyway. No, they're not.
This Martins looks like a good player, and I think he ticks the box of what I think we need at the club with wingers. So I'm all for it.
Cool. That's good. So they were all the transfer targets that we've gone through. It's going to be a very interesting. I think after the game, after the Luton game, that's when all the transfer targets were were starting to come in because I think he's starting to realise the lack of depth that we have at this team, and he's now starting to go right. We need to do business, whether it's loans now that we can put
I think the only risk with that
clause
is loans haven't always worked out for us. Look at that season.
But then you can also cancel loans in January.
True.
In the January, you can cancel them and get rid of them and bring someone else in without buying from them. So I think that's very, very interesting, and it's getting my juices flowing. So let's move on to Barnsley. The Barnsley game. So they had a very good win. Yes. Today we're recording this on Tuesday for you guys listening. On Tuesday against Middlesbrough, in the Mickey Mouse Cup, as I'm now going to call it. Beat them 2-0. Two goals within the side of 10 minutes, the 22nd minute, 34th minute. They looked like they dominated the game by the looks of it. Jesus. They passed them out of the park. Don't look like they're a long ball team. But on the Saturday in the league, when they played Luton, they lost 1-0. And they dominated that game as well. So they look like a team that likes to play. They had 10 shots, 1 on target against Luton, 6 off, 3 blocked. Didn't have that many more passes than Luton, no. Only the 52 extra passes altogether. So, are you confident ahead of the game this weekend?
Yes. You say they are a team that like to have the ball.
What I can see, what's the stats telling me so far?
Yeah, so are we.
Mm-hmm.
I think player for player, we should have a bit too much for them to handle. Historically, we do tend to do
Talking of historically, Reading have played Barnsley, I don't know how many times, but in the history of Reading v Barnsley, Reading have won 30 times. Reading have drawn against Barnsley 20 times, and Reading have lost 26 times. So the very first game that it was between Reading and Barnsley was 1926. And it was a 2-2 draw in the League Division 2. Altogether, this includes cups as well. This is not just in leagues, this is cups as well. So the first ever game was 11th of September 1926. And the last 5 games we've played them was the 29th of February, where we beat them 2-0. We drew 1-1 the 11th of December, and then they were relegated the season before. But season before that, we drew 1-1. We beat them 3-0. Drew 0-0, and the last time we lost against Barnsley was 2014, 25th of March 2014, when we lost 3-1 to them. But for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're unbeaten in the last 6 against them in all competitions, all home or away. So yes, I, on the other hand, are extremely confident. I want to give you a little stat as well. I want to see if I can try and find it. I'm not going to find it, but I know what it is. Out of every single championship team that played over the first game of the season, Reading are bottom with longest balls. We made the longest passes in the championship. So, I don't want to get carried away. Oh, but we're playing some sexy football, aren't we? So how are you feeling with the Barnsley game after all of that then? You happy and confident, ready to go? What style of play do you think we're going to play? Do you think we're going to play the style of play that we played before? I know he wants to swap and change it, but I think it worked against Derby. So do you think it'll be the same tiki-taka, Pep Guardiola-esque football?
Yes. What was I going to say? I said earlier about him making like a few different styles where he can change it like just like that.
Yeah.
I reckon we'll, to be honest, I know you're going to ask me in a minute for a lineup. I think we're going to go unchanged.
No, don't ruin the game.
I'm not ruining the game. I'm doing more work for you because you're now going to have to find how we lined up last week.
No, I've really worked all the stuff out, so don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm already there, mate. Don't worry about it. I'm really confident.
No fun.
I know. I am prepared. So yeah. So I think we're going to win this. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to absolutely smash them. I think it depends. I don't think it's by how many. I don't think it's going to be if we win. Are we going to win? Maybe not win. Maybe win. I think it's one of those situations where how many goals are we going to score, or what's the situation with how many are we going to win by? That's how confident I am. I don't know why I'm that confident, but I
think you're fitting to do your score prediction then.
Not yet. We'll do in a minute. We will get into that. What I want to do, I'm trying to look for it. Here we go. Here it is. So last weekend's lineup was Raphael in goal, Yidam, Moore, Morrison, Richards. The 2 CMs were Rinamota and Lorrit. And the 3 attackers without the striker. Is it Jaria, Swift, Elise, and then up top was Lucas Jow. Lucas Jow. That's how we went. So, points. I've already worked them out.
This was 10 each, wasn't it?
Shut the fuck up. Don't talk. So Ryan's team last week was Raphael, Moore, Yidam, Morrison, Richards. So you got 5 points there. Then he went for Laurent, Swift, Reno, Elise. Another 4 points. Then he got Jow, which is 10. And then he went Puskas and they got it all completely wrong. And he got 10 points. So the team I went for. So now he's back. Come on. Unmute yourself, dickhead. So the points that you got last week was 10 for the lineup.
I know.
Well done. So for me, I went for Raphael, Yidam, Moore, Morrison, McIntyre, Richards. McIntyre, I got 4. I got 5. Anyway, I got 10 points as well because I went with Lawrence, Swift, Reno, Elise, Jow, and we both didn't put Oviajaria in.
For the same reason as well, wasn't it? Because he had pre-season.
Yeah. But I both wouldn't put. I didn't think he would start because of pre-season and then gets cramped because he doesn't get pre-season. Just saying, Panadovic. But he scored a beautiful goal anyway, and that beautiful smile after he scored just turns me on. So 10 points each so far going into this. We're going to make it tougher going on in the season. Once the transfer window's ended and once it's done and we know the 11 plus who could be on the bench, we're then going to bring in the substitutes as well, which is going to make it a bit harder for us as well. We're going to bring in points for naming the substitute bench as well. But at the moment, it's a bit all over the place and it's not worth trying to do yet. So we will do that after transfer window, just in case when we record this podcast, we haven't made a signing within 5 minutes of us recording this. So lineup. You got to stick to what was played last week.
Right, I'm going to say 2 things. I think we're going to go unchanged. However, I think if Ajaria isn't fit because he went off with cramp last week, he'll be replaced by Mate, but I'm sticking to unchanged.
Is he back?
His suspension finished.
I thought he has one more.
No, the Luton game ended it, I think.
All right, cool. If anyone knows that reference, you're a legend. Do you know the reference? Good lad. So yeah, I'm sticking to the same team as they had last week. I don't see any way of changing it, and we're not doing this game as in I'm not going to purposely just pick a random player choice just to make it more interesting. I think it's going to be exactly the same team. We are going to be. I text Courtney. I'll text him again. I'm going to get his input of what he thinks the starting 11 will be, and then he will be joining in with the game as well. So we will get him involved as well. So, score predictions.
What did Courtney say the other day? I can't remember now. I thought he said 2-1.
3-1.
3-1.
So, score predictions. The game. We have a game going on between me and Ryan, and Courtney's involved as well now.
I'm winning.
Spot on. Spot on. It's so annoying. So you are 3-0 up. Because you get 3 points for a win. Because that's how I'm doing it. 3 points for a win, so 3-0 up. Right. So let me go on to Thingamabobby. And I want to know your score prediction. Hold on. I'm thinking of mine as well. What's the score going to be, Balamori?
3-0 Redden.
Have you bloody got on the thing yet? Hold on. I can't press it now. So you're going for
3-0 Reading.
Okay. Bastard, because that's what I was going to go for as well. So you got 3-0. Perfect. So, and I am going for... Got to be different. I'm not going to just copy you because it's just... Everyone's... you and Courtney are both gone that we're going to score 3 goals. So... you know what? YOLO. I'm going 4-0 Reading. I'm going 4-0.
Last time we scored 4 against Barnsley was 2012
There you go.
at Oakwell as well.
Exactly. So we're going to smash them. So yeah,
Mm.
that is going to be our score predictions. I'm not going to lie. While we do this, I am updating the graphic that will be with you guys on Saturday morning when you guys listen to this. Friday or whenever. I want to say thank you to everyone that's been very, very positive about the podcast. Getting a lot of great feedback, so it's very, very nice to listen to all of the feedback as well. I went through a bit of a tough time the other day on Twitter, but I spoke to a few people, as in Ryan. So it's Ryan. I spoke to Courtney. I've got a few messages DM'd on Twitter from Stuart, who gave me a lovely message as well to say, get on with it, you can't change what's going on. Also Kate, Catherine we know her as, but you guys will know as Kate Uroz. She gave me a DM and she's always been checking on. She knows about my daughter. She always messages how we're doing and how we're getting on and everything, and she's been really, really nice and really, really helpful for myself and my family as well. So thank you ever so much to everyone that has messaged. Can we please sign a player? I've got a really cool looking graphic that I really want to use that I created today, and I think it's friggin' amazing, but I can't use it yet because we haven't signed anyone. So we'll go with that. And that's what we're going to go with. So yeah, that is basically it for the Reading talk. But women's football, let's have a little conversation about that. Did you see the scores over the weekend? And did you see the highlight? Did you watch the highlights?
I didn't watch the highlights. I saw a few of the scores. There was a couple that I missed, but I saw Arsenal won 9-1.
Yeah.
I saw Chelsea won 9-0.
Yep.
Reading won 3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why have I not posted it? Did I not post it? I swear I posted it.
I'm not sure about the others.
All right, so I'll go through it with you. Basically, the
Man
score.
City drew 0-0, didn't they?
Yeah, against Brighton.
Yeah.
So West Ham lost 9-1 to Arsenal. Chelsea beat Bristol City 9-0. Everton with a surprise. Maybe not too much of a surprise, but a big win against Tottenham, beating them 1-0. Reading smashed Aston Villa 3-1. I feel sorry for Villa because they've gone this. They played against Reading. I think they've got Chelsea next. I think I saw. That's just ridiculous.
So they'd have had City, Reading,
Chelsea in the first 3 games of the season. I want to go double check that. Don't quote me on that.
3 of last season's top 5.
Yeah, Man City drew 0-0 with Brighton.
Massive result for Brighton. That.
Yeah, with the new signings of Lucy Bronze, who's come back. Alex Greenwood, who I think I tweeted out and I showed, she is the most. She is like Steve Bruce of the footballing world, of the women's football world, where she was a Liverpool player, but then she was Everton and then moved to Liverpool. She played for Man United, but now has gone to Man City. It's the most Steve Bruce thing that would happen, but if they got the opportunity to play that, she went out to Lyon. I saw that Lucy Bronze won 7 trophies in 3 years.
I want to say, is there someone that's done something quite similar in the Women's Championship?
Could be.
I think it's like Maddie Wright, played for Millwall, Charlton, West Ham, and someone else.
Fair play. If you could get around to it and do it like that, fair play. It's going to be an interesting weekend this season. If you haven't gone to check the Chelsea v Bristol highlights, the goalkeeping. I feel so sorry for the Bristol City goalkeeper. Had such a shocking performance. Just terrible. West Ham were doing all right. They were doing well. West Ham, they were 1-1, I think, and then they had a player sent off, and I don't know what happened with the sent off because the highlights didn't show it or anything. But she got sent off, and did it go down? It was the captain as well, and it went absolute downhill from there. So it's going to be interesting to see how. Do you know what? I'm going to call it now. If Arsenal carry on the way they're going, they're going to win the league.
Invincibles.
Sure, they could be. Depending on how they get on this weekend, I'm trying to look at some of the fixtures for this weekend. But depending on how they get on, they've definitely got the players. It's not the strength and depth that it is. It's basic. There's no fixtures this weekend because it's the FA Cup. The last season's FA Cup that they're trying to finish off this season, as well as doing the new FA Cup round as well. So it's the FA Cup this weekend. What I want to say, talking of women's football, is Alex Scott is going to be officially announced as the new Question of Sport host after Sue Barker, Phil Tufnell, and who was the other one?
Can't remember his name.
I can't remember either. Who was the other one? I'm going to Google it while you lot are listening to me now. I'm going to put right ready. So I didn't Google it, and it's Matt Dawson. I promise. I didn't Google it. They can literally look at my phone. I'm showing them. It's Matt Dawson. So yeah, him and Phil Tufnell have now left. Sue Barker is going to be replaced by Alex Scott. I'm very, very pleased, very, very pleased that she gets the opportunity to host the show. She is probably one of the most intelligent, one of the most underrated football pundits. Not only that, but presenters that's going. Jesus, Rangers are winning 5-0. We're going around at the moment. So I think her getting an opportunity and all the people, and there's two things I want to say here, is the people that are complaining that Alex Scott is getting it is the main reason why there's an issue today. You're moaning, one, because it's probably a woman doing it. You're also moaning probably because of the colour of her skin. Doesn't matter what the colour of her skin is. It's that she is so overqualified for that position that I'm now going to start watching A Question of Fucking Sport again when she starts doing it, because it's bringing my interest into watching that again. And not only that, I saw a thing the other day that when Diversity, this is not football at the moment, but Diversity did a collaboration about COVID and Black Lives Matter on Britain's Got Talent. It's got 24,000 complaints from Ofcom because of what they did. If you have
most complaints that it's not one of, it
is now. Is it now? I know I saw it the other day. It was one of.
It's the most complaints BBC have ever received about something on TV.
ITV.
Oh yeah, for ITV.
Yeah.
My bad.
If you have complained about Diversity and you are listening to this podcast, go fuck yourself. That was probably one of the most intelligent, one of the most poignant things that you can have. Not only are they trying to express what's happened the past 9 months or however long it's been that we've been locked in doing all of this stuff. Not only that, it is showing what's going on in the world to what they're going through. Us white people, we are very privileged in what we are experiencing. I can't talk, and maybe one day, and maybe soon, we will get someone on to talk about what's going on in the world, and they might have a better perspective on going on things. But we want to bring to light this. If you have a problem with Black Lives Matter, then you are the problem. Yes, everyone lives matter. Yes, white lives matter. Yes, brown lives matter. Yes, black lives matter. Yes, blue lives matter. Pink, orange, green, purple, yellow, whatever fucking colour you want. The issue is if you haven't gone through what they've gone through, yes, it was happened in the past and you can't change the past, but there's also nothing's helping them in the now. They're trying to bring to light the injustice that they've been going through. So why not think about what you're going to put and what you're going to write? What you're going to write on Twitter, what you're going to write on Instagram. I've seen that the racist abuse towards Wilfried Zaha. I've seen racist abuse from other players that are bringing it to light. Townsend, Sterling is the main one. Rashford has got it. All the players that are getting it. Think about what you're doing before you post things. And not only that, if you have no understanding why they're doing it, why not go and educate yourself? And that's what I did, because one of my very, very, very close friends and one of my best friends is a black person. And he educated me. It told me all the stuff that he's gone through. Not with me, what he goes through and what his family have been through and what his grandfamily, what people in America go through. So go and educate yourself before you start doing stupid shit like that. So yeah, rant over about that. Formula One. There's no Formula One this weekend. I think they're off. I think they're off to Germany now. I think if I'm wrong, I just want to check before I say shit that I don't mean. So we never talked about it Monday because Courtney doesn't really watch Formula One. No, they're off to Russia next weekend, 25th to 27th. They're off to Russia. Could be. I saw some fans in the Italian Grand Prix as well. The Ferrari. I'm not even going to try it. I'm going to do it. The Formula One Pirelli Gran Premio della Toscana Ferrari 1000 2020.
You shouldn't have done it.
No, I know I shouldn't have done it, but I wanted to do it because it's going to piss a lot of people off. I'll tell you what, that was probably one of the most eventful races that's been there for a few years, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was your take on it?
Madness.
So the top 10, I'm going to say top 12 because...
We'll say the top 13 because that's all that's finished.
No, there was only 12 that finished.
Oh, yeah, of course.
There was only 12 that finished. So Hamilton, pick up my man, equaled Michael Schumacher. So all of those people that are crying, he's not the greatest driver. Fuck yourself. Bottas second. He's having a tough time, isn't he? Albon, I'm so happy Albon got in the top 3. I'm really, really happy for him that he got in the top 3. I think we both have an opinion of he's been a bit not helped during this year with Red Bull, has he?
No.
So then you had Daniel Ricciardo in 4th, very close to finishing in top 3, where the Renault executive was signing has to get a tattoo of Ricciardo's face on him. He'll be finishing in the top 3, very close. Perez,
they kind of jinxed it on Twitter.
Yeah, they put a tweet out of it, didn't they? In the Google search or something like that.
Yeah, tattoo parlours in Italy.
Oh, bloody idiot. Perez in 5th. My man Norris in 6th. If you don't, the best clip of Norris, have you seen it? When he goes, when they go, radio check, and he goes, Friday, it's Saturday, Sunday. What? It's Friday. He's singing down it. Oh, yeah. Loving Norris.
The one that made me laugh on Sunday was they suggested changing his strategy, didn't they? They suggested changing his strategy, and then he's like, "Do it, just do it."
And then Kvyat 7th, Leclerc 8th. Not a great weekend for Ferrari. 9th. Voice went a bit funny there. 9th, Kimi Raikkonen. 10th, Vettel. So close for Russell. So close to the points in 11th. And then Grosjean 12th, as Grosjean does. I felt so sorry for Russell. If it wasn't for the second restart, for the second red flag, he would have
comfortably got it.
Yeah, comfortably. I felt so bad. Even Vettel, didn't he? He come out after the race and said if it wasn't for the red flag, Russell should have been in the points and he should have got it. Fastest lap of the race was done by my man Hamilton. Fastest pit stop was by Red Bull in 2.2 seconds. Jesus Christ. And driver of the day, of course, was Ricciardo. So it was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I hope they have more races like that. So we've got Russia, Germany, Portugal, Italy. They're going back to Italy. Okay. Turkey, then Bahrain, and then finish in Abu Dhabi in December. So, yes. So that was good. And then did you watch any of the NFL? Do you watch any of the NFL? No?
I do, but I didn't this weekend.
Yeah, it was a weird weekend this weekend. Everyone thinks that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to tank this season. Tank in NFL terms means do absolute shit and don't win any. But they come from behind and won. Very surprisingly, Cam Newton had his very first game for New England Patriots, and everyone's very skeptical. Would you say? I would say skeptical. But how he would do if they're going to make him actually pass the ball instead of running it every 5 minutes like he used to. But they did a mixture, and he did absolutely. And then the big new boy, Tom Brady, with Rob Gronkowski. I can't fucking say his name. Yeah, him. The only way I know him, I know him before, but he was WWE man. As that had his first game for Tampa Bay Buccaneers and started off really, really, really well. Brady run over for a touchdown, and then went to utter shit. I think he got 2 interceptions against him. Was not doing well. Didn't do very well. Joe Burrow had his first game as a starting quarterback with didn't really have any. There was no preseason for anyone. So he started off against them. I think they won. I'm just checking. I'm not 100% sure, but did very, very well. Miami Dolphins put up a good fight against New England Patriots as well, but there's another team I sort of look out for, and it's the team that I don't think a lot of people like. It's the Dallas Cowboys. The company I worked for before are based in Dallas. And they were like 10 minutes down the road from the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and they did not have a good start. They lost. But it's going to be interesting to see how this weekend goes. It shows that Brady and Rob got some. No one had a preseason. It's like it makes me laugh. I don't know what you think about it, but with football preseason, you play a few games behind closed doors, do whatever you want. They had none. They had practice, and then they went straight into the NFL. It's literally, and apparently there was quite a few injuries as well. And Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, he went on a mad one, mad thing. And on footballing related news, just before we go, a banger bubble clang, as Arsenal Fan TV has officially signed his new contract with Arsenal, his new 3-year deal, and it just shows either what Arteta has or what Arsenal have, that Robin van Persie left, Nasri left, all of the big names left, but Aubameyang stayed. He's going to go down, I think, as one of the greatest Arsenal players. One of.
That's what he said, wasn't it? He wants to stay to become a legend.
Yeah. And Ian Wright absolutely loves him. I think he actually loves him. Gareth Bale is on his way back to the Prem. Tottenham fans think they're still going to get top 4 with Bale. Nah.
I don't. I had this conversation with someone the other day. I don't think he's that good of a player.
He's a very, very good player, but that Tottenham team is so crap.
This is my point, though. He hasn't played in like a year for Madrid. He's going to be very, very unfit. Also,
no, I wouldn't say he's unfit.
No, let me finish. Before, I don't think he stood out in the Premier League. I think they signed him more based on what he did in Europe. The standard in the Premier League has improved. He'll play left wing for them. Look at who he's going to have to play against. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Reece James, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I don't think he'll play wing. I think Mourinho might put him as a second striker.
Okay, but then look at the likes of Tomori from Chelsea. There's pacey defenders, and his trick is knock the ball past someone and run onto it. He can't outpace them anymore. You
have put them as in 6th in your prediction. I put them as 8th, and I'll stick with that. And I'm also very, very happy with how Everton performed, because I've tipped them to be 6th, and they absolutely Carlo Ancelotti at its finest. I think James definitely did perform there as well, which is very, very good. Right. So check us out on Instagram Live after the game on Saturday. Come and join us. There was about 10, 11 people that joined us. We don't get the huge numbers like Elm Park do, because you guys don't know where we are. We're on the Insta. We're on the Grammy. We go live. We played as well at the end of the stream. Don't you know, pump it up. The Royals are going up. Yes, I played it. Yes, I danced to it. Yes, the rules are going up, and I'm still picking that we're going to top 3 at the end of the season. It's not fading from that. I'm not moving that. You got a question, by the way. I'm going to quickly just say this on Instagram, where someone was very, very confused. Lewis, who's been on the podcast, was very, very confused. I just want to make why you have put Watford 10th. But I told him what you said. I told him what you said as well. So, getting questioned, my friend.
Do you want me to answer that now?
Go ahead.
Okay, I don't think they... I said this before. I think all of the 3 relegated teams are going to struggle. I don't think
Norwich did very well.
I don't think Norwich will now, because I didn't expect them to sign well, and I didn't expect them to keep likes of Pookie, Todd Cantwell.
Still a month left in the window, by the way, just in case.
Yeah, I know, but I thought they were going to struggle. Bournemouth, I've put like 14th, 15th. I think they're going to struggle a lot.
You have put Bournemouth 15th, Watford 10th, and Norwich 3rd.
Yeah. And then for Watford, obviously, what you've asked about, I don't think they have a great squad altogether. Deeney, their captain, obviously a lot of question marks surrounding whether he's going to stay or not. And they'll probably lose 4 games in a row and sack their manager. I'm
just going to point this out. The game that they played against Middlesbrough, the first game of the season on the Friday night.
Yeah. 1-0.
They won 1-0 against Middlesbrough, which was basically their reserves, because 14 players, I still can't believe this, 14 of their first team players were injured and couldn't play. That's just mental for me to think about that. But anyway, so that's what's going on. So thank you. So go and check us out on the social medias down below. We have just recently hit over 200 followers on Twitter, over 100 followers on Instagram. Go and follow us on Soundcloud, please, as well, so you get notification for when we release a video. Or when we release this podcast. Don't forget as well, we are now over 50 subscribers on the tubes. I want to hit 3 digits by the end of the year, so help us out and help us gain some followers. We are trying our very best to grow this and push this a lot further than what we're trying to do. But we need your guys' help, and we want your guys to come and help us. So please retweet, follow, give us reviews on Twitter, say how good we are. Just help us out grow, and we can only do that by you guys. So thank you ever so much for listening. Thank you ever so much for coming on again. We look forward to meeting you guys on Instagram Live around about 5:30. God, my knee. I've sat cross-legged for so long, my legs have got dead. About 5:30 on. You're coming with me, by the way. I'm turning you around. There we go. Hello. I'm stuck on. Oh, hello. 5:30 on Instagram, where we will discuss the game. I have paid the monies for the season ticket as well. I will be paying for iFollow as well, so watch the game. So come and check us out. Come and listen to us. If you don't check us out on Instagram, we'll talk about the same sort of thing on the podcast anyway. But come and listen. We're going to play some music, have a bit of chat, have a bit of a laugh. But everyone, be safe, be kind, look after each other. Remember, be kind. Don't be a dick. And if your name's Slaughter CKS, everyone knows you. You're a fucking twat. Bye. He's a dickhead. I haven't paused recording yet. I don't care. I just want to call him a dickhead again. Dickhead. Right. Bye. Wave bye. Say bye. Bye.